And we've been looking at the vibratory signatures based upon numerology, Western numerology, of those particular years. We also have looked at since 1963 was the beginning of this shift, and it was considered to be a 19/1 year. We looked at then some 19/1 years that have followed 1963, being 1972, 1981, and 1990. Now I want to look backward just a little bit at the 19/1 years that immediately preceded 1963. Why? I want to see if there is anything different about the energy of the years of the same vibration prior to my feeling of the beginning of the shift versus after that time of the shift or the beginning of the shift. So, was there something to do with abuse of power? Yes, but to a certain degree it was almost in reverse. The next year on our list, previous 19/1 year, 1945. Okay. Pretty easy to know in history what was the major news story of 1945. It was the cessation of hostilities of that period that we in history call World War II. What was that all about? Well, World War II largely was undoing abuses of power against people. The abuses of power of Adolf Hitler, the abuses of power of imperialistic Japan, liberation of concentration camps, all kinds of those things happened. Yes, more abuses appeared as a result, but largely 1945 was a reversal of abuses of power from the past, kind of like Brown versus Board of Education was in 1954. The next one we go back and look at, and this one was a challenge as well, 1936. What on earth took place? Well, we had a Spanish Civil War that began 17 July 1936, did not end till the 1st of April 1939. That war led to the dictatorship of Francisco Franco. It also led to, or was directly a result, was the overthrow of the democratically elected government of Spain. Dictatorships were proclaimed in numerous places around the world: Mexico, Bulgaria, Peru, and Italy, to name a few. King Edward VIII abdicated his throne in England. Probably all of those are relatively small. You know, they affected people in a certain country. They did not seem to affect the entire world, other than the fact that we were seeing dictatorships spring up in various places around the globe. The other thing that happened was the Olympics. A man named Jesse Owens became famous. Olympics that were held in Berlin, I believe, that year in Germany. And Hitler and all of his pro-Aryans were greatly embarrassed by this African-American named Jesse Owens, who kind of wiped up the place with them, winning event after event after event. Again, to a certain degree, a signification of anti the movement that was going on there, the movement of abusing power of political office for personal, basically for personal ideology. So anyway, that's what I wanted to look at. Those 3 years, well, 3 years, I only have 2 of them up there now, don't I? There we go. 1954, 1945, 1936. In those years, we see kind of reverses of the abuse of power as it had been prior to that, whereas in the years post-1963 that we looked at before, 1972, 1981, 1990, we see more egregious forward use of abuse of power. Therefore, I conclude that numerologically, there is at least a certain amount of evidence that would support this feeling of the shift having begun in 1963, and it's a process, not a singular event. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and namaste.